I want to provide a quick update. Since I retweeted Red Bull about with the simple hashtag get woke go broke, and they received a ton of backlash for their tweet, they have since deleted it. This is what happens when brands try to get woke and they try to push their ideology on communities, specifically the gaming community, in this case, the Mortal Kombat community. Let's get into the story. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quarter, and I hope you're having a good Thursday. And as we wrap up the week, there's absolutely a metric ton of things that people are offended by, whether it is the new Riot logo or continued drama around Mortal Kombat 11 that Red Bull themselves could not keep their hands off. May have 3 videos today, but I'll have at least 2, as this video will be going up around 4. I may have another at 7, or we'll just do a live stream tonight. But regardless of that fact, for several months now, there's been an ongoing controversy around basically puritanizing or covering up all the women in Mortal Kombat 11. To give you the nexus of that is they confirmed publicly that they were making the women more covered up, and they offered this reasoning. Now I'm going to share what they said specifically. Now, of course, if you look at the men, you have a woman here completely covered in battle armor. Here's a shirtless man. Here's a shirtless man. Here's a shirtless man. Here's a shirtless man. Here's shirtless men. Here's a shirtless man. Okay, so we know that what I'm about to read is complete and utter BS. Now, Brendan George tries to piss on our leg and tell us that it's raining by saying our character lead, Brendan George, has been a breath of fresh air introducing new ideas. Our design is just getting more mature and respectful. You're not going to wear a bikini to fight. You're not going to be showing so much skin. I think it's just what the game is about. If you're going to fight for your life, you're not going to be wearing such scantily clad items. I'm sure that it will disappoint some fans that we don't have bathing suit fighters, and I think that's fine. If people are disappointed, I don't regret making that change by any means. Now, that second paragraph reads with a lot of vitriol, in my opinion. A lot of, well, tough cookies. You don't get your big anime boobies. Tough cookies. You degenerates. As he types that from his mother's basement, I imagine. But nonetheless, this is a provable lie. As you can see, if you were going to do that same thing and you were these men, why aren't the men wearing armor? Though he has some armor over his shoulders, but his chest and vital areas are still exposed. These guys are all exposed. So, of course, it's total BS. But, that hasn't stopped the Mortal Kombat community from pushing back, and I think rightfully so. Ultimately, I think Mortal Kombat will probably sell just fine. But there's plenty to meme on, and it is fun to expose double standards. It's fun to expose hypocrisy, because there's really no doubt in my mind that their character design is about taking away the attractiveness of the female character. And so this morning, everyone is laughing at ugly female faces in Mortal Kombat 11, but if the design decisions in MK11 are anything to go by, then expect MK12 to go full burqa battle mode with ugly female characters, so you don't have to worry about seeing their ugly mugs. And we have a little burqa battler there. That's pretty good. And then you see, of course, do you see Mortal Kombat 11's Shiva? She's got a man's face. I'm so mad. I don't even know how I can express how angry I am on Twitter. Screw NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat, all these people, right? Yeah, she does have a man's face, obviously. Goes on to say the socialists pretending to be video game journalists in the West. Screw third wave feminists in the West and all the people in NetherRealm designs for their Mortal Kombat 11 female characters too. They're the reason we're getting junk female characters like these. Now, this one I think looks okay. I don't know. This one, I mean, it's a little full face, I suppose, but looks pretty normal to me. But some of these are pretty awful. This is pretty high jawbone, looks kind of masculine. Not that bad in my opinion, but of course fully covered up. And then we have this dude who's fully covered up with armor. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, that's a female, my bad. And then This is just really bad character modeling. This dude, chick looks really bad, really bad. And I don't know if it's, it's just a face thing all around that the faces are that bad. But if you want me to buy your game, sell me the high quality game with good female character designs. Don't sell me junk dressed in gold. Stuff is still stuff. Poop is still poop. How hard is it to get through your skulls? NetherRealm doesn't care. See, that's the thing. I'm not sure that this specifically, as one of you pointed out on Twitter, this is probably not a get woke, go broke scenario, but it will absolutely affect sales. And what I thought was even more interesting today is when Red Bull got into it. And I want to go through that. Here we have Equinox Romanova. I don't know who you are, but you work. She is a former NetherRealm developer, works at Smite, and is a Twitch streamer and commentator. Okay, well, never heard of you. That doesn't mean absolutely anything at all. It's a big world, right? I see you have a Twitch channel. I don't know how big that is. You have 3,300 followers. That's relatively small, I guess. Imagine thinking these are poop female character designs. They all look unique and BA. I don't agree. I mean, yes, I agree that they look unique, but then randomly, out of nowhere, Red Bull chimes in. They look like diverse human beings instead of anime copy pasta. What? What? I don't even understand. And then, of course, this backfires on them. You do know that all the top fighting games in esports are Japanese. Tekken, Soul Calibur, DOA don't have anime art style. Even games with anime art style have diverse designs. Plus, Samurai Showdown characters look way better than Mortal Kombat 11, the lowest standard in designs. Bazing! And then, of course, going to defend the brand. And then you have your modern Mortal Kombat design. I think that's probably where we're coming. They look ugly. Now, that's a diverse range of ugly, but still ugly. Several parts of the design just don't match up. Looked fine in MKX, as did Sonya and other female fighters. Why the bad thing is to voice an opinion. Oh, get woke, go broke. Nice job. I had an energy drink problem. This really helps. It's so funny. They all look like poor cosplays. Just stop, Red Bull. You're an energy drink company. Do energy drink things. Sadly, you're right. Those character designs wouldn't be horrible. Let me stick to my animu titties with a game not catered to normies, or at least DOA's characters don't look like rejected NPCs from Oblivion. I mean, that's probably pretty fair statement. I'm not sure what Red Bull was hoping. I really don't know what they thought that this would be. I don't know how they saw this going. I don't know how they saw this going. And I don't understand why brands continue to feel like we care about what they think. I mean, anime is Japanese, so what's even her point? What Red Bull said is racist. They have many Japanese games at EVO, even anime-style looking games. To think that everything from Asia looks like some anime copies, I guess high-res and Red Bull are so woke they're beyond racism. Red Bull's probably still going to sell their sugar water. Red Bull Esports, they have their niche in FGC. FGC is rather on the woke side. Whoa. Oh, I thought they typed FGM. That's really woke. But why interject and divide customers? I am a Red Bull drinker, and to be honest with you, it's one of those things where, like, you could say, a lot of people fight back like, well, who cares? Why is it such a big deal? It isn't. It's also not a big deal to not drink Red Bull. It's not a big deal to really, I kind of have an energy drink problem myself. It would be easier just to cut out energy drinks in general. I just, when companies sell stuff that is a luxury item, I feel like they're even more exposed to being to dividing customers and to having customers turn around and walk away. Because when you're Red Bull, you know, you are the literal definition of something that is a luxury item, one that people probably shouldn't drink anyway. I mean, I think if everyone's being honest, you know, I was around when Red Bull came out and became the national sensation. And I do like what they do with their, you know, the Red Bull plane. This what is it called? Not the Flutog. That's always funny too. But I mean, I don't want my brands telling people what to think, how to feel, if they're good human beings or not. The fact that Red Bull is injecting themselves in between high res and the customers is probably not a good idea. I mean, when you look at the way that the article read for, you know, One Angry Gamer, when they're talking about how the customers are not happy, but NetherRealm Games comes out specifically to say, hey, look, we don't care. We don't care if you're not happy. We're changing the way we present women. I just don't understand. This is very similar to the whole Sony censorship stuff where, well, we're gonna cover up side boob, but you know, Call of Duty and Battlefield 5 are totally fine. You know, toss as many grenades at people as you want, just don't have a nip slip. Otherwise, that's going to be banned forever. It's so weird to see people so puritanical, and I'm not sure. I think this kind of push generally comes from really ugly people. The whole like objectifying woman thing, I think in video games is totally overblown. Marketing data tells us factually that not only men, but women also prefer good-looking women in terms of their marketing ads, their movie actresses, their video game characters. I mean, people like to see good-looking people. I mean, that's who wants to see like an average Joe in a fighting game. All the men are obviously super fit and super, you know, I would say good looking, and according to, you know, the standard of beauty out there. I guess maybe not Goro, but you get my point. It's harmless. It doesn't, if people wanted to look at like fat folks, they just go to the grocery store, they go to the bar, they look out their window, or they look in a mirror. That's not harmful to give people something nice to look at in a video game. And the idea that it is absurd. It's an idea that is pushed by people who are deeply ugly and want other people, they're deeply ugly and deeply unhappy, in my opinion, and they want others to feel and look the exact same way. It's unfortunate for Mortal Kombat fans. Obviously, the techniques, the mechanics of the game itself are more important probably than something like this to the majority of players, but don't underestimate the fact that you'll alienate 10, 15% of your player base that just aren't going to come back. And then it's going to happen next year, and then it's going to happen the next year, and then before you know it, 30, 40% of your player base is gone, and you'll wonder why. Meanwhile, over here, we'll know exactly why. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.